For about a week, I was asking myself if this video was necessary. I have been very negative this February and wanted to move on from that negativity, but if I try ignoring this issue, then it will inevitably catch up to me too anyway. I want this video to be as serious as it can, so no sarcastic remarks, no jokes, no related gameplay footage, and no music. Don't worry, it is going to be the last time I'll talk about something like this in 2025. I certainly don't want this to be a very negative year, and I certainly don't want my main channel to be all about drama. I want to make more media reviews. I want to make more positive media reviews. But the subject at hand has proven to be quite insidious, to say the least. Today, we're talking about a person that exists. Yes, that is his internet name. To give you an idea of what he's like, he's one of those guys with a bunch of different accounts made to pretend he's a different individual. George, Toadette Gamer 2, Cat Toad Gamer, and many more. He's also one of the most annoying people I've seen on the web, and I've seen a lot of them in the last 5 years. Usually I don't go out of my way to expose or document people's bad actions, because more people or YouTubers will do a better job than me. But this is a special case. This guy is so small, you've probably never heard of him, unless you've been following M64 Brothers. To put him in comparison to the other people whose scenes I spread awareness to in the last weeks, he's arguably not as bad as the others, but he has been the most pervasive out of them. It sucks that Thor Kirby keeps or kept requesting or consuming inappropriate art involving underage characters, but at the very least he's been pretty quiet about the allegations. He hasn't tried to accuse those who exposed him of being the real perverts. If you want a taste of what his favorite pastime is, PTE constantly accuses M64 Brothers and many of his friends of being racists, Nazists, even groomers. He has quite a few targets, but his biggest victims seem to be the Ender Kirby and them 64 brothers. Most of the time, he doesn't even have any evidence to back up these very serious claims. He uses the fact that impressionable Twitter users buy everything that's said because it's on the internet to his advantage. It works when people want to slander media they don't like all the time. Why not do it for something much more egregious? But sometimes he goes to the extra step of editing screenshots, and this is where his claims fall apart. He has posted this screenshot where M64 Brothers supposedly reveals he's a Nazi, which is wrong on so many levels. I mean, first of all, the like count doesn't work like that. It's not like comments on Reddit where if they've downvoted too much, the count is negative. But the view count is comically large for someone who has a little over 1,000 followers. I know that there are instances of people that make one video or post that makes it much bigger than the others. But do you really expect me to believe such a small content creator will make a statement that will garner 108 million views? The same statement you claim he quickly deleted? He's also trying to make him look anti-Semitic with a screenshot of him arguing he doesn't trust his Jewish friends, and of course, one where he says he likes that German dictator. Obviously, all of these have the same problem of having too many views for someone with so few followers. So, who's the one who originally said these statements? Well, if you guessed Kanye West because he had a meltdown recently, then you will be correct. How do I know this is the case? PT made a tweet replying to one of Kanye's on his alternate account, arguing this to be M64 Brothers on his alternate account. It's chilling to see a bully claiming their victims to be doing the things they actually do unironically. The bio on his George account is literally telling M64 Brothers to reveal their true identity. Heck, he even at YouTube to tell them to do something about the things he made up. That's how committed he is to this act. And what about Ender Kirby? Well, I reached out to him on Discord and he's given me a lot more screenshots in the last week. Most of them are just about himself being accused of similar things. The only difference is that instead of doing it on Twitter, PT is doing it in Discord servers. He made the same edits where his victim claims to be anti-Semitic, and this time he really messed up, because Ender is Jewish himself. Anti-Semitism is about being against Jewish people. How would that even work? Oh, and this screenshot also shows that these accounts are the same guy. He put one of Ender's drawings as his George banner image to presumably get one over him, and that's probably the least bad thing he's done to him. There are a lot of other things about PTE I could talk about, like his distaste for genuine art, him being pro-AI art, but one of his other claims that stood out to me was how he argued that piracy is legal and you should mod Switch games instead of buying a real console. Yeah, don't do that. I can understand emulating games for consoles that no longer have any official support, but not this. That's very immoral. I was wondering why he would say this, and it turns out that it's because he hates Nintendo of America for allegedly being racist. I want to give a special thanks to Event64 for talking about it in one of his videos on PTE, which I probably would have never found the evidence for even if I tried to look for it. Anyway, what's the evidence? Removing comments of him being a jerk to others. Yeah, really. He even said he wanted to sue them at one point, which, is an insane idea. He also has an obsession with raiding Discord servers. One of the most stressful episodes was when he raided Toxic Peace server back in October of 2023 with a minimum of 14 unique accounts. I'm not the biggest fan of Toxic Peace works, and even I think that's too much. PT's team constantly ping War so he could befriend Ender so they could talk to him. I don't know what their intent was, and honestly it's for the better. As for Ender, he responded to PT himself to stop harassing him for petty reasons, of stuff that wasn't even true. What followed next was one of the most BS defenses I've ever seen. Most of the other users said, yeah, this is terrible, but you need to let it go, man. Stop getting angry over playful jokes. This is kindergarten stuff. Nobody knows of the things he did to you, and even then, it's just sarcasm. Do you wanna know what is sarcasm? Stuff like when you say you're a great singer and then some stranger replies that you're the best when they don't mean it. That's sarcasm. Calling someone a racist or a Nazi or groomer, or even claiming someone supports a universal taboo, isn't sarcasm. The police could arrest this guy for spreading sins Ender and his friends haven't committed. And if you're still not convinced, even made a follow-up to his PTE video where he revealed one of PTE's friends joined his Discord server, exploited a bot to kick one of his moderators, and nuked the server. And this guy even tried rejoining the new server to presumably do the same thing, and it was saved only because of Event's alt detector bot. And the cherry on top is that this person contacted him and his mods privately to basically send threats. None of this is about sarcasm. This is just the stuff I thought was most important to cover, but it's not the full story. If you want to see more ridiculous instances of his tomfoolery, check out these other videos I'll put in the description. But I'm just gonna say that it's ironic he argues that Ender and them 64 brothers are racist, when he seems to have a beef with the British. Even more baffling, he claims they're addicted to NSFW material, when he thinks Ouija Pie is innocent. Yes, that Ouija Pie. Neither claims about these two are true in the slightest, and the way he acts makes them even less believable. I interviewed Ender Kirby to talk about his experiences with this guy, and this is what he had to say.
Now I just gonna give the basic premise. Who is person that exists? Person that exists, or PT, or how I will call him from this point, person, is a YouTube channel that originally started as a Zelda content creator for his first 2 years from what I know, but later on with other internet trolls of the Nintendo community decided to gather together to be a whole group of trolls, which eventually only him become the main harasser. He had been showcased to consistently attacking people for speaking positively on anything that is not related to Zelda, most apparently Tears of the Kingdom, which he acts like anything else is invalid, while Tears of the Kingdom is the only game that's valid around, which, now look, it's fair to have different opinion and being close-minded is also a thing, but If you attack people just because you have a very specific mindset, this is inexcusable. Okay? Now, I'm not saying now you don't need to love a very specific franchise only. Okay? You can do it. But when it comes to become to attacking people as your main reason, this is inexcusable. And he calling it out as spreading the truth, which is shocked just him being wrathful and acting like anything that's not from Zelda is a bottom tier game, which I will say is a very close-minded ordeal. The main issue is not boiled down to this, it boiled down to him attacking. Eventually, he got on many people's nerves, including my friend M64 boss, which he decided to target it, presumably because of he was the biggest one in terms of size and slandering. I had been on his defense because, you know, he's my friend, and on the second one, he tried to fake the death threat from him on Twitter using a very bad edit, and if you change the brightness setting on your phone, you can see pretty much cover all of it through edits. And I decided to target me because I was like an easy target that can be taken down easily. He slandered me and trying to accuse me on racism, as well as using a former friend of him, if I don't wrong, to accuse me on stuff like taking his life, which I didn't took it lightly. My relation with person is not never been friends. Okay, to say the least, this guy tried really hard to justify his wrongdoings is more than the case. I bef I tried to ask him before the Olo deal he got and warned him that if he keep doing it will get consequences on YouTube, which he took it like I'm just hater for being for the sake of being hater, which I just tried to ask and he pretty much said he hate Nintendo, which, like, I get it, but what the community need to do with Nintendo's business model, okay? And let alone, Nintendo of America is not the body that's making the games, which I don't know if you know it, but it's Nintendo of Japan. And I'm now just gonna say, this is not gonna help even if you try to spread the truth, which is bullshit, on Nintendo of Japan, just to make it clear. Now, that's pretty much about the basic gist of how pretty much person pretty much become the nuisance on my end. He had plans to keep attacking M64 boss, which I asked Evan to get involved, and he pretty much take and then eventually exposed him, which he tried really hard to just get what he wants and then get nothing from the other side. Like, uh, let me explain it again. Pretty much he expected to keep the Slender videos and get no expose on his end for what he has done for the simplified case. Now I gonna address what happened after M64 boss video. PT attempted to debunk, in quotation, M64 boss video using his secondary account, using text to speech to try to make M64 boss quote unquote say things he never said, and pretty much try to make extreme stuff out of it to try to debunk the claims person had been found guilty upon on his boss video, which I will talk more in details about it when I get to that part. He attempted to make a video exposing him, quote unquote, on raiding his server despite he giving the permission to enter, and tried to claim he raided it and using alt accounts to ban evasion deal or deal. And as well, what more? He tried to accuse M64 was on pedophilia and attraction to minors just because of a specific post asking about favorite female gaming characters. Nothing romantic, and he mentioned from them it's Amy Rose, which, like, that's not with the simple fact this post even never had been about something romantic. It's just straight up lies. And then try to make about it false claims. Afterward, uh, he tried to use individual claim he gonna boycott him on Twitter, which, well, he didn't done it on his main account. He done it on the George account, which I will go more in detail since this is a whole beast of things that need to be covered by its own. But yeah, I pretty much tried to make some extreme allegations against M64 boss that has been faked, as well as trying to deny that he's been guilty upon multiple things. Now, what I do recommend we deal with the behavior. Okay, let's start with the simple fact that yes, I'm aware trolls want attention to some extent, but in the cases of PTE, I will say this is not a type you need to ignore. Okay, let's start with the simple fact that YouTube gave us tools to counter any violators. Trolls are not the exception of violation on YouTube. They may be thinking, acting like they doing it on purpose and doing it out for their joke is somehow excusable, but is anything but. Okay? My main message, do not ignore what PT has done, and any troll that's doing allegation in the same style of his. This is what you shouldn't ignore, consider the extremism about it. If it was just racism allegations, then fine. This is where I would say is okay. But he turned up to make allegation of pedophilia, Nazism, as well as trying to accuse people on things they're not behind on. So I want to address about this part. What I recommend is by any means do not ignore PTE. If you ignore him, you give him exactly what he wants. Back at a scenario I will mention at Halloween 2023, one of his members pretty much explained they self-aware they are trolls and they expect people to ignore them as pretty much is their get out of jail card to trying to escape pretty much a scenario. Basically, they're using ignore as a method of escaping from punishment they could get. If you pretty much corner them and pretty much not giving them any option to breathe, counter them, and pretty much put them into a situation they cannot be escaped from the corner, this is the right thing to do. This is universal to any trolls in the situation, not just PT. Now we're pretty much going to add some extras and address some stuff PT tried to accuse me as well as M64 Bros. I'm just gonna address some stuff that PT had been guilty upon across the three main social platforms he was on. Starting with Discord. As you can see, he tried to use a family drama situation I've been behind that I was venting and much directed to the server it was, being toxic based Discord server. What he didn't tell you that he raided the server multiple times and was behind ban evasions. Not just once, not 2 times, not 3 times, almost 10 times of using an alt account to try to bypass his ban. Let's start with the simple fact that he was banned for raiding at the start. In case you don't know, he tried to raid the server back at Halloween 2023 and trying to ping me, spam me, and trying to send friend requests and spam and trying to get me to some GC saying they're gonna give me some special gift, which I don't know if this is the real case, which I really doubt, but this is just straight up disturbing. And after most of the members had been banned, he kept some alt accounts to keep his presence on the server, which didn't stay after a few months after Evan Petro had been involved. To simply put, PT tried to keep his presence and somehow to get into me, but it failed miserably once I pretty much peeled out all the layers. He was also guilty upon something that I told before when he was exposed back around a year ago, and that's being falsified death threat. If you don't know the whole scenario, I will pretty much update you about it again. To recap on the overall deal, back when Evan got involved with PT and trying to get stuff, person tried repeatedly to write his Discord server. When I tried to negotiate with him that if he delete the slender videos on me, I pretty much leave him alone and he will not hear from me. But they tried to eat a cake and keep it all and somehow expected to get from me to stop attacking him while he pretty much continue with his doings and keep what he wants. On his second attempt, he used two alt accounts. One was person that exists too, and the second one was called person that exists maybe, which he pretty much said, fine, I delete the video, and I responded with good, and then he edited his comment to say good if you want to kill me IRL, which he tried to use it and purposefully tried to hide his main account PFP to showcase that I tried to quote unquote death threat him. This was pretty much his attempt to like get his upper hand, and he got banned from the server. He attempted to use this account to join the Toxic P Discord server, pretty much got all of his alt accounts out of the server for good, as well as trying to get this post. But I pretty much contacted M64 boss, and he contacted YouTube on Twitter to pretty much terminate about it. and the post had been removed, and he pretty much got the penalty from YouTube, removing his safety net. What come before getting the three strike penalty system. About other stuff he done on Discord to a lesser degree, he tried to join an old Discord server which we tried to continue the negotiation in the past, and tried to get from Evan or from me a link to his to M64 Boss Discord server, which Evan responded and refused, and he said his purpose is trying to negotiate with M64 Boss and claim he also take lives of babies, which is just straight up messed up, and afterward he and the ones that joined with him got banned. That's addressed about this thing on Discord. He just don't seem to understand the meaning of being banned from a Discord server. Now, he also attempted recently to join the Toxic P Discord server again, but after this entire BS, I pretty much contact Toxic P himself directly, and he made sure he cannot join the server anymore. But to also address the other stuff he done on Discord, he tried to also join the Discord server as Stephen Wolf, Risi, and just Nintendo to try to stalk on M64 boss. What he basically trying to doing in Discord server scene is either get some unbans or trying to stalk on people and pretty much use it for his own benefit. To give the basic gist of it, there is a suspicion that Spitty also had plans to dox PPL. I not gonna enter too much about it, but to address some stuff that he done on Twitter. Well, in Twitter he done lesser things to some extent, besides trying to accuse Doug Bowser on racism for blocking him despite he harassed PPL for nothing, like he doing on YouTube. On Twitter he have an alt account named George. Now, to give pretty much full context what George had done, he pretty much trying to support Break the Pencil. Pretty much AI art is only over a normal art, which I will say is pretty much a very wrong mindset, and I do not support this mentality, but also try to accuse M64 boss and me to some extent on stuff like pedophilia, Nazism, and also trying to steal content from M64 boss. To put to some cases, he tried to edit stuff to try to claim M64 boss done the Nazi salute, as well trying to using Kane West's post on Twitter to try to accuse M64 boss by putting his PSP on it, to put a simplified case. He tried to claim on me on Nazism as well as of recently by doing an hashtag, but there's one major issue about his claims. I'm a Jewish. I can be a Nazi in the first place, so like, what exactly are you trying to claim about it? He also trying to deny he's not George, but like, there's way too many evidence to prove that he is PT. To put to some perspective, despite PT also literally admitted he is George as well, the way they speak, the uses of shut up and racist whenever they get pushed into the corner. One of George's very first posts is trying to contact him YouTube to get N64 was banned on allegations that we never saw the guy in the first place, and this pretty much was done after M64 was made a post asking Team YouTube to penalize person that exists for his recent actions, just to give the general context, which pretty much cement me the fact that George is PT. And, well, I know it's not the most link connection, but when PT trying to raid Toxic P, one of his alt accounts was named George, which, in my opinion, pretty much cemented even more as pretty much him being the George account. Now, I'm not saying George is his real life name, but I'm saying he is behind this alt account as much as he's trying to deny it. Yeah, pretty much this George account is a very messed up account. It's he trying to presumably trying to get something controversial and getting very little punishment from Twitter. Like trying to say, I'm not him, so if he get banned, so I will not get banned or bullshit like that. Just to give the basic gist of it. But that's pretty much what he trying to use on Twitter. Now to what he'd been doing on YouTube. Like I said at the very start, he had been guilty upon harassing the Nintendo of America's community on YouTube and because of his arbitrary hate to Nintendo, but he also very guilty upon very multiple things that I would like to address. First of all, this video is claimed to expose or more accurately slandering, showcase either fake evidence or trying to make the most extreme of stuff to try to look like he is the victim of the scenario when he anything but, using either crying emojis or spamming exclamation marks to try to look like something very messed up happened, as well as using his secondary account using text-to-speech to try to force claims for M64 Bros.
Folks, it's me, M64 Bros, and I'm gonna be practicing some shooting at Coyote Clay.
So I can hunt and kill a person that exists.
Hey folks, it's me, M64 Bros, and I'm gonna be practicing some shooting at Coyote Clay. So yeah, it's pretty fun.
By and large, this is pretty much what I want to address about it. He also very much showcase the most extreme of allegations on his community posting. I got to address some of the stuff here. The most worst offender of it is trying to accuse from me that I kidnapped his family. He tried to make some extreme fiction that I related to the Israeli government, as well as took his parents away. That's with the simple fact that person time zone wise is from the USA. I never had been in the USA in the first place. Okay? The last time I'd been in a different country was in France 7 years ago. That's it. Okay? And that's with the simple fact this person, as much as he claims he know me in real life, he don't. Okay? That's with the simple fact that he doesn't know which country I come from. The most I tell that I'm from the Middle East. And only very specific people, which person is never had been one of them, know which country I come from. I only give the general context that I'm from the Middle East. You can guess all you want, but I'm not gonna give the answer, even if you ask me to put the general stuff. Okay, and even if you know which country I come from, the chances you will find my city, and then the very specific person that is me, and then trying to find that he claimed that I'm the Ender Kirby is very unlikely, consider first off, I never reveal my face. The most I do is reveal my hands, and I'm not doing it very commonly. Okay? You cannot search me from my hands, let alone from someone who never reveal his face online. Let's address this thing. As well, it's not like I'm now speaking around and calling in streets I'm the Ender Kirby. This is not how I'm doing. Just like I'm not telling on the internet with my private name, I'm not telling around in real life that I'm the Ender Kirby. It's pretty much what I want to address about that part. So yeah, person just trying to use some extreme allegation to try to victimize himself that I tried to kidnap his family, and this is just very not okay. Okay, the fact that he's trying to use his family to try to victimizing himself and trying to get people against me, just showcase he generally doesn't care about his family, and I feel bad for his parents that they raise kids like this who make about them the most very extreme allegations just for his own personal purpose. Now I want to address this stuff. Person is also very guilty upon trying to make the most extreme allegations, and I shouldn't mention it in the Twitter section, but in the video that he trying to accuse M64 Boss and PTF earlier and trying to call him EDP 2.0, he also had been guilty upon claiming he gonna boycott M64 Boss on Twitter. And while he didn't done it on his main Twitter account, he done it on the George account, which pretty much cement me more that PT is George, as much he trying to deny it. That's what I want to address about on the main social platform, but I want to address also other stuff he trying to claim against me personally. Now I'm pretty much gonna to address the whole ordeal about PT being doxxed. To put it nice and easy, there's been two people, one of them named Mond and the second one named Gav. To put it nice and easy, I've been in the new server and I pretty much trying to vet about the whole ordeal of me and PTE, and Mod and Gav pretty much discussed between themselves about trying to talk PT and pretty much contact the parents while I was offline. Afterward, Gav pretty much done the doxing, and for whatever reason, Mod wasn't unhappy. I don't know why. Pretty much contact PT, and it'd been a whole drama situation between the server. We pretty much addressed did not interfere with each other's life, and pretty much anything had been done. I felt I could leave the drama behind me. But to just make it clear, after the whole ordeal, I wasn't happy with what the doctor had been doing, and I pretty much disconnected from him and disconnected from the whole server, from all what happened. Because I knew pretty much I need to disconnect from it and leave the association between him and the doctor to just address this thing. Now I'm gonna address about my affiliation with the anti-UTTP. No, I'm not an anti-UTTP member to say the least, but to put it simply, I joined the anti-UTTP Discord server to find the links to accounts of UTTP members to contact my country's internet association to terminate the accounts considered the very illegal content they hold behind them. If you need a general context, Paolo's videos pretty much cover what the UTTP has been doing on social medias. But to put it nice and easy, back in July and August, the UTTP trying to attack Tree's YouTube channel I'd been following, and I wasn't happy about it, so I pretty much trying to get them banned as soon as possible, because what can be said, these guys have been just generally very not okay with their spam, and if you had been there, you know what they've been behind. So yeah, now look, I also know about the allegation against anti-troll, but to put it nice and easy, I'll help a lot the anti-UTTP, so I asked their help back, which I pretty much get support from them, and yeah, I also heard about the allegation about anti-troll, but I heard both sides, and I am not gonna enter to the whole ordeal, but yeah, many of the allegations against anti-troll have been debunked, and he also admitted he's not been okay about some scenarios, but just to address my affiliation with the anti-UTTP. But quite ironic that despite person pretty much talking about the negative with anti-troll, he also tried to contact on the George account to get support for him against M64, which didn't pan out. But also during his conversation with anti-troll, he purposefully didn't add to the very specific screenshot when he admitted that what he's doing is faking content and he's fully self-aware about it. And PDF Filia. He tried to link very loosely that very specific account I follow, Blue Sky, pretty much confirmed I have a P addiction. And I'm pretty much gonna address few stuff. For one thing, this account done the NSFW content after I was inactive on Blue Sky, so I didn't even watch this content in the first place. Second, this account that I follow, this is a former Discord friend of mine that I pretty much got things into a better state recently. Not gonna pretty much put too much about this matter. To put it nice and easy, person weaponized Silas for his own personal gain. To put the simplified case, and trying to pretty much link this quote-unquote P addiction that I have is related that I'm pretty much around minors, which is very concerning, which I will say these two things are very unrelated. Even if I was a P addict, this is nobody's business, and he can't know, consider I'm not in his private life and vice versa. Okay, this kid don't know me personally, so pretty much what they're trying to claim is complete bullshit. Okay, and as for my relation with Scott, that he tried to claim that I'm friend with him, no, I pretty much only asked for Scott's help because he had been attacked by this George account that's trying to do some BS, and to put a simplified case, I pretty much asked for his help and didn't know about this until a person pretty much found about it. I'm not happy with what Scott has been doing, but person is objectively a genuine PDF file supporter, and I will add this up sooner. But to put very something that he don't know about me and some may not. I'm an asexual, okay? I have no interest in romantic relationships, let alone mature content from this stuff to just address about it. As well, Todd's video trying to claim me being a P addict, this is a complete bullshit as well. The song that's sang in the end, no, this is not my voice. They pretty much trying to use my name, which, by the way, if I am going on something, I will go with my actual name, but no, this is not the case as well. They just tried to get copyright infringement on me, which didn't gone. I will add more about Todded Gamer 2 and what they're guilty upon, but to put nice and easy, person is a genuine pedophile supporter, okay? You can see on the George account, which very easily confirmed to be him, that he supports WGPI. He followed this account prior his recent termination on the platform, as well as trying to showcase genuine support to him and Nister, which I'm not gonna talk about too much about Nister, but he's pretty much a mid-rider of WGPI. But yeah, I'm pretty much gonna debunk the whole deal. I have no P addiction, and person pretty much weaponized my friends against me as well. A status of someone which I only ask for his help. I'm not friends with Scott, and I'm pretty much disconnected from him after pretty much spoke his words. But pretty much what M64 boss said in this video is applied to me. But now I'm pretty much going to talk about the two supporter of person that exist, Toilet Gamer 2 and Cat Gamer. Cat Gamer is not much else to say besides him pretty much make lives in his YouTube channel trying to claim that the Nintendo Switch 2 is not gonna be released, which is just a straight up lie, and also guilty upon mass harassment. He pretty much a lesser person that exists, and he pretty much showcases suspectively his alt account. Toilet Gamer 2, however, are far worse. The video aside with pretty much falsely trying to claim P addiction from us and as well falsely accusing M64 boss on grooming, this is pretty much BS. Okay, let's start with the simple fact that even if we speak with minors, it never came to this bad degree. I'm pretty much asked to lost to showcase examples of what is a genuine grooming from the case of Reploid Revo, and they have no case of that. But speaking of which, person tried to stage a grooming scenario with one of his friends, which if you can see here, they're trying to play stupid and romantic with M64 boss. I pretty much award them to block these people before they will try to stage this scenario and trying to falsely accuse M64 boss on pedophilia. The thing is with situation like Widgepa and Reploid River, there are multiple examples of them grooming. There is no scenario of either me or M64 boss behind it, and Total Gamer 2 just basically make lies. Other two stuff that Total Gamer 2 is guilty upon is raiding Discord servers and as well as pretty much trying to show up the last in person's core group when they're trying to pop up. Basically, they pretty much going with the approach of I wasn't part of the raid, so by technicality you cannot ban me from the server, which pretty much felt miserably to them, and they pretty much got banned either way for being pretty much part of the raid group. For other thing that Total Gamer 2 is very guilty upon is supporting falsified death threat. As you can see in this post, that M64 boss contact them, Team YouTube on the matter, that person faked a death threat from me. They trying to support and pretty much trying to claim this is a false info, despite we pretty much confirmed that this is a falsified death threat a few VMs ago. But that's about on the matter on Total Gamer 2. They are terrible people, and you should also report them to termination of the platforms they are on. Okay? Do not support them by any means, and they're pretty much guilty on lying. Okay? Like I said before, they're trying to claim a specific song that was in the credit was by me, which I gonna confirm this is not by me. And they're pretty much trying to file a copyright defamation against me. Originally, I didn't plan to mention him, but after seeing his most recent actions, I want to mention him as well. This username named BoysBoy. I'm not gonna talk about him much, but he showcased support to PTE to a minor degree, which I thought it easily ignorable. But after seeing his most recent action, I think it shouldn't left without a mention. Basically, you can see here he showcased support that AI is. He showcased that he support AI over genuine content as well as George's content, as well as trying to go with trying to lie around that PTE is not George, which is right up bullshit. Also, I want to mention that an alt account of PTE that you see here, originally named Link from Fortnite, trying to claim is George, but if you know from Toxic Speed Discord server and the welcome list, you know it's originally named Link from Fortnite, and it was confirmed to be an alt account of PT, so that pretty much doesn't help on the matter even more. But one thing I want to mention that's very controversial about BoysBoy, that he pretty much put an extreme mindset that I'll need to leave Nintendo, and don't need to be under the wing, which I say, like, what he also made a very weird Reddit community that made some extreme conspiracy about Nintendo Mystery Hall, which there is no proof about it. There's no interviews about it, let alone. I don't know where you came with this mindset. And now look, Kirby is by technicality a second party character, not a third party, but second party is pretty much a company that, while working under a very specific platform, they still have their independence and choice to what to do. If I want to make Kirby and pretty much more side titles, it's their decision in the end of the day. Kind of like how Square originally was pretty much Final Fantasy and only focused on side titles at their start. To pretty much give my best example as of right now. I'm not gonna enter too much, but I'm pretty much want to mention it, consider what he tried to do, and pretty much somehow expect that making a comment that we need to leave PTE alone after what he've done and trying to deny the allegation of PTE, George. Yeah, I think I should mention him as well. Now I'm pretty much going to put my overall message to pretty much anyone who has been watching this video, which thanks if you watch the whole ordeal. I know it's long, but this is a big situation and I want to cover really a lot of things on the matter. Please, to pretty much any video or scenario that exposes PTE, get this threaded, get to anyone to know, whether it's close friends or even from servers that allow to get dramas pretty much to the needed internet communities, and get reports on the individuals that I mentioned. I know some may say mass reporting is not okay, but consider pretty much what they've done. Does it mean that the reporting him is the bad move? Like, I know that mass reporting can be not okay, but consider the many violations he had done. I think this is a far lesser thing to do. Okay, YouTube gave us the report button for a good reason. It's not for decoration. For M64 boss, please file a defamation complaint or a copyright strike for each respective content that I gonna showcase here that you need to do. Okay, if you do it, this is pretty much can end the whole ordeal, and it's not a long process. You just need to be near a PC, take the URLs, put the necessary details, and you pretty much set and done. And now I'm pretty much gonna put my message to Twitter or X and YouTube. Please, okay? Take the necessary actions to terminate the usernames for the platforms, okay? They maybe have small presence, but the damage they doing can be overstated as very serious if it isn't handled correctly. To put into simple perspective. And now I'm pretty much going to say directly to YouTube, okay? I appreciate you give us the tutorials on how to report and reading the YouTube community guidelines and saying you're gonna check and analyze after we have been reporting. But you still need to take an action, and people waiting weeks, if not months, for you to take the necessary action for a violation. And before saying these accounts have been violating the YouTube community guidelines, well, I'm just gonna showcase you a page directly from your guidelines, and I've been showcased a whole long video with evidence that showcased the usernames in question had been violating. Okay, and specifically for Total Gamer 2, they're also violating the explicit material content. They maybe have put a warning, but they didn't censor the content itself, which pretty much is a violation nevertheless, and you should take an action, okay? Don't give us excuse, just take the actions. It's that much to ask, okay? I'm asking you to do what needs to be done, okay? You have been terminating accounts that doing lesser thing than what he had been doing, and I just ask, please take this channels that I showcase right now. I pretty much give you the entire reasons why to do, and as well as the violation they had been crossing. Just do what you need to do.
And while Ender and I were working on recording and scripting this video, it was found that PTE made another account on Blue Sky to impersonate M64 Brothers' alternate account, L64 Brothers. PTE then used this account to harass and stalk one of Reese's followers. You know, Reese, one of the Mitch's biggest fans. And while this, as well as two other similar accounts, were suspended, I doubt he's done impersonating other people. There's also these two great episodes. I'm not deep into the YouTube drama scene, but I don't think it gets worse than this when it comes to harassing others for little to no reason. I don't just think Pete is a bad person. I actually think he's worse than Leafy is here. Well, it is true that Leafy is here harassed a lot of people from kids to Pokemon. At least some of his criticism came from somewhere. He wasn't 100% making stuff up to get mad at.
He had 12 videos insulting Pokimane in the title, laughing at her in the title, using degrading thumbnails to insult her. And I understand the content of all 12 of those videos wasn't solely focused on Pokimane. They were mainly like financial rants and shit like that. But still having 12 videos all insulting Pokimane in the title and thumbnail, that's viewed as harassment by YouTube. And to be fair, that's literally textbook harassment.
PT's basic daily routine involves using his accounts to make lies about moderately popular and in most cases very small people in the Nintendo community. And these lies can't even be labeled as just troll behavior. We have gone past that. If all of this has happened in just a year and a half, imagine what's going to happen in the next months following the release of this video if he doesn't get what he deserves. Stop this behavior at once. If you think you can take us down because of a small fan basis, you're dead wrong. We are not pushovers. We will never be pushovers. I've already archived this video on multiple websites. Archive.org, BitChute, even Odyssey, and I've given Ender Kirby and M64 Bros and all of their friends the permission to archive it on even more websites. Please stop with these allegations that nobody buys. You can own up to your own behavior and nothing will happen. Keep making jokes out of serious claims, and the last thing you'll have to worry about is if you'll be able to joke again. Your choice.